Welcome back to my shop. Been kind of on a little bit of a roll this week. Been doing more turning, catching up on the years that I haven't been turning. So I figured I'd just keep on going with this cherry here. My last video you saw me doing the cherry platter, which right now is kind of drying on the side there. Take a little while before I get back to that one, but in the meantime I figured I'd try and do a natural edge bowl here. So this piece is still kind of wet, it's pretty heavy, so I did put a rag here just to, keep the water from splashing all over the metal. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to start by roughing out the edges here and getting it rounded, and then we'll work on the shape a bit. I already preset the speed to about 570 RPM. So putting my face shield on, hopefully you can still hear me. I know the last video was pretty bad, but that's, safety first. Until I get a external mic, it's going to sound like muffled. Okay, so I'll just slowly start. I already gave it a couple of passes already. I don't want to get that tool rest too far away. That way if there is a catch, my tool won't go flying. This tool sure takes off a lot of wood, I'll tell you. Well worth the money. We'll be planning to buy a hollowing tool one of these days. All I have to do is sell a few bowls and I'll be in business. I'm going to see if I can crank the speed up a little bit, if I'm still okay. Yeah, it seems to be getting rounder anyway. 650 RPM, that'll be helpful in getting a little more wood taken off quicker. But like I said before, this isn't a race to me, this is something I enjoy, so I'd rather take my time and have fun than rush and do a mistake. I want to see how much more I got to do here before I get totally round. Hoping that this bowl is going to be big enough. It looks like it'll be alright. A little smaller for my taste, but that's okay. This part's going to be a little bit of a problem. I may have to make the bowl smaller than I hope, because to keep a natural edge, man, that's going to be a big loss right there. Because I'm almost there already. It's that, or I just do a normal bowl and just look at that one. Tough call. That's another, geez, at least half an inch there, if not more. An inch when you look at the end of the cut. Well, let's see, if I did a normal bowl, then that would be cut out. It wouldn't be a big deal. Now, I may end up just doing a normal bowl then. Not exactly what I had in mind for this piece, but I'll chip away at it some more and maybe make the decision in a minute. I guess one thing I could consider is a hollow form. Hole in the middle here. Leave a bit of a natural edge. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Wasn't really planning on making a hollow form with this one, but I may have no choice. That's going to be interesting. And I'll pause the video and give it some thought, because right now I'm kind of not sure. Well, I think I'm going to decide to just do a normal bowl. It's kind of lousy. I was hoping to do that, natural edge, but if I do the normal bowl, I'll get a maximum diameter of the bowl. And you know, sometimes things happen that way. You plan one thing and you start turning, and next thing you know, you decide to change your whole pattern. So with that done, I'm just going to start shaving away here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop here and see what kind of natural edge I have. Maybe I'll do a hollow form, but I think this bowl is a little bit, I don't know, it's not that wide for a hollow form, but we'll see what we get once I start chipping away at the corners here. Then I'll decide after. Yeah, not always going according to plan sometimes, you know. You make a plan and you want to do it, and next thing you know, you got to modify it. That's all right. Still, all ends up looking good after, in the end, anyway. Once I cut this off, that pieces might go flying, so it's always important to have that face shield. Or you can do like Robo Hippie says and stay out of the line of fire, but at the very least you have some kind of protection. I want to see if I got that off yet. Pretty much off. Could be a decent looking gourd. I have a piece here on the shelf that looks pretty good so far, and I just dropped the bowl. This one right here, I can do something like this. I'll have to get the camera to make sure I can see it. But I can have something like this here. Let me just zoom up there. This piece here, promises to be very, very nice piece. You can see that. So I can do something like that with this one. But I think that might actually work. Be a smaller version. These pieces are, that I showed you there, they're still drying, so one of these days it'll be done. So I'll start maybe just rounding it a little bit, and it's kind of a playing game, you know, you round it a little bit and then you sort of see whether or not I want to go with it. Even if I round it here, I can still make the bowl, so I'm not going to touch this end yet. I'll be doing my shear cuts that I talked about in my last video that I enjoy doing. Just taking a little bit off at a time. Must be on the end grains, it's not cutting very well. Could give it a sharpen, but I just did, so it shouldn't be that bad. Guess it's safe enough, round enough to put on higher speed now. Oh, that's right. Got to lower it down a bit. Just give my tool a sharpen and I'll be back. Okay, let's give her another try, see if that helped. Yeah, it seems to have helped a bit. It's funny, sometimes you think your tools are sharp, and next thing you know, because you know you sharpened them not long ago, and then you come to turn in your head, you're thinking, nah, it's sharp enough, and no, it wasn't. Well, I like the look of it so far. We'll keep plugging away at it. Let's try and give it a little more of a lip. I don't like that profile, just want to make sure it's nice and round. Over the course of the years, I learned from other turners that your wood turning, you want your bowls to have a round, you don't want any flat spots. And that's been something I've been trying to improve a lot in the last turnings I've been doing. Sometimes it takes time, but when I look back at some of my older pieces that you'd see on my website, beautywithintrees.ca, you'll see the older pieces, which are the first pictures in my gallery. You can see a lot of flat spots, but I've been working hard to make it more round, make it a little more pleasing to the eye. I have to admit, the pieces that have come out lately are much nicer. That's pretty good, I like that. Got a little bit of a bump there, I'll take off. It means I have to just round the rest of it down here. I don't know what, see if I can get a better camera angle for you guys to see that, but if I take the cage off, I suppose you can see it from there. Anyway, I'll just finish this part and then we'll see what we can do at the angle. I'm pretty pleased with that. Alright, I'll see if I can work on a better angle for you guys to see. We'll see what we can do. Well, I don't know if that's going to help you any, but it's actually not helping me any here. It's kind of in my way. Let's see if I can fix the angle of these legs a little better. Okay, well, you probably won't see me you probably won't be able to see me cut here too much, given the camera angle and stuff like that, but sometimes I gotta do what I can to get you guys to see what I'm doing. I could have left it where it was, but I think you might be able to see a little bit better. So I'm just going to work away on this end here, try around that side, and once I get that going, if I can find my face shield, there it is. Okay, let's do it. It's a little bit awkward for me too, because this is I have to use my right hand now. I'm really right. It's actually not the right. Angle for my hand. I'd have to go like this, which I have done before. I just don't like doing it that way. I'll try a couple cuts, see how it goes, and then maybe not go too fast. Yeah, that's not too bad. If I haven't done it before, I probably wouldn't want to do it, but I have another small dilemma, which is the screws that are on the faceplate now are going to come up to about here, so my bottom is actually going to be a lot higher. Really, what I should do maybe is, that's a really tough call. I don't know. Let's see what happens. My other piece is the one I showed you earlier is a lot taller, so it doesn't matter if I lose some of the bottom, but this one here, I don't know, it might not be proportional. It's so hard to control the rounding of this bottom section when I have to do it this way. I have to get into a groove of sliding my tool and my body at the same time just to get it nice and round. One thing nice about this thing, it has a nice curve to it, so if you got your hand steady, you can just follow the curve and your bowl should be nice and round. See, it looks nice and round here anyway. That's looking pretty sharp. It's that bottom part that's worrying me. Mind you, I'm only losing a little bit, which means that it'll actually round off more over here. Just give you a little peek on the profile here, what I'm looking at. It's not bad. It's a bit flat up here still, but I'm going to be losing about maybe right up to here where my fingernail is there. So the rounding part's going to be more here. But I'm not going to worry about that at this point. I'm already committed now. And we'll just work with what we got. I'm actually quite satisfied with that shape so far. Because once I do this bottom part, the rest will look round. So now I should think about maybe doing the hole in the middle, which is not, you know, I got to make sure I don't go too deep, because if I go deep, I got to take into account the screw where it's going to sit, and I want a pretty thick bottom, because I've come across a couple times where I've actually gone too far in the bottom. So I give myself about 3/4 of an inch, and then I'll just shave it away slowly with my hollowing tool. So I'll just take this off, and I'll put my drill bit on there, and I'll drill the hole in the middle, and I'll be right back. You'll be able to see that. Okay, so I'm pretty much ready. I just have to know about how deep I want to go here. I'll have to measure from here as best I can. Oops. Trying to take the highest point of the bowl of the natural edge here. That'll be my 0. Even if I'm a little shorter, like this way, that's fine. Probably other methods better than mine to measure this, but I've been kind of used to eyeballing it. So, given the fact I'm going to lose about 1/2 inch, I probably want to go 3 3¼ inches, because the screws I figure will probably stop at about 4 inches, and that's where I can take the screw marks off. So 3¼ will give me a 3/4 inch bottom. That's what's nice with this lathe, is I got the measuring right on the tailstock. All the numbers are written here, so I just go 3¼ That's about as far as I gotta go, keeping in mind that this drill bit has a point there that sticks out a little bit, so I think 3¼ should be good. So I'll just put this back down to 0 here. Guess I should have done that before I measured. Actually, we'll go to 1. just had to move the camera a little bit because it was getting in my way here. So I have to sort of re-eyeball this here. That should be good. So I got this marked on 1. So get my compressor going, I guess. Okay, so just gonna get this ready. I like to do this on a slower RPM. And 3 1/4. So we'll start at 1 inch at a time. Then I back it away. That's 1 inch. So I undo the thing and I pull it back this way. Got the compressor just to blow out the teeth and stuff. Make sure it's all clean. Then I just go all the way to the end again, lock in place, 1 more inch. I used to pull the crank back to take the bit out, but I found after a while it would just slide off of here, and so I just pull it back now, and then I put everything back to 0 after. So now that's 2 inches I got out of there. Now this is only a 4 inch measurement, and I don't like to put the tailstock too long, so I usually back it away back to 1 inch, and then I keep in mind that I already did 2, so I only got 1 1/4 inches. This last one I could do actually in 1 step. So I'll just back it up to 3/4 inch here. And then I just make sure my first 1/4 inch, and then 1 more inch, and that's it. That should do it. Okay, had a little bit of a snag there taking this out, but I managed to get it out. So now that's pretty much where I want it. I guess that extra 1/4 inch was a bit too much, and the bit got kind of jammed in there, so I had to fight to get it out, but I got it. Yeah, 3 1/4 inch, so I'm happy with that. 3 1/4 inch gives me a lots of bottom, so that's cool. So I could probably start hollowing a little bit, although I usually like to leave it dry, a day or so. So we'll see. I'll see where it takes us for now. Well, I was gonna leave it dry and pack it in for the day, but I think I'm gonna start hollowing it just a bit, just to get some of the wood out of there, and then that help it dry a little quicker. So I basically moved the headstock to the end of the bed here, and I'm just going to use my CI1 tool here to just work away at the outside here, and just give it somewhat of a hollowing, but nothing really complete yet. As long as I'm at center or above center with the tool, that should be fine. Just back it away a little bit. Just nice and easy. Just doing straight pushing in. Now I gotta leave the walls kind of thick because I'm gonna hollow it thinner later. That tool's a little bit high. Just gonna drop it down just a smidge. Well, this tool really isn't meant for hollowing, but it does do a nice job getting it started. I do plan to buy the hollowing tool one of these days. do have a couple of other hollowing tools I can use, but just to get wood out quick, this is what I like to use for now. Just feeling where the end is and then dragging it to the left. Take some of the old wood out. I have to be a little more careful because I got all this length of the tool inside, so it's easier for it to lift up. So that's why I'm taking it nice and slow, not pushing too hard. Tell by that sound that you got a lot less support at the end of the tool. That's pretty much it. Just get my compressor to blow that out. Oh, you feel the humidity inside of there. I could keep going and try and thin the walls a bit more, but it's that bottom that concerns me. See, I already went a bit too thin here. If I keep going, I might end up making a mistake. So I think with that, I'm going to leave it, let it dry, and then work it a little bit later. So I hope you've enjoyed this segment. I guess I'll just put part one and then finish it off later. But at least in the meantime, you can see how I did it, and hopefully it'll help you figure out how to do it for yourself. Have a good day. Just thought I'd give you a quick view of what it looks like so far. See here. That's what we're looking at this point. Oh, I know. Keep forgetting this screen flips around here. I'm doing everything the hard way. There you go. That's basically what we got so far. So I weighed it at 1,796 grams. When that goes down and it's no longer loses weight, I'll know it's ready to finish. Alright, until then, happy turning.